Hello, video maniacs of all shapes, sizes, and colors. This is Practice Dummy. This audio recording, I put in some gameplay footage as well for some visual enjoyment while you listen to the audio, is of a Ford warranty scammer. And this one happens to be an all-American scammer. It wasn't started off with an East Indian making the call. This was all American here. One thing for people that don't know a lot about the scams, with the warranty scammer, they try to get you to pay some money up front, even after I had asked to have them send me documents first before I make a decision. Which of course I'm not going to make a decision for getting the extended warranty because this is a scam. But they'll always try to insist that you pay up some money up front. Virtually all scams require you to pay money up front before they do anything. So pay attention to what's going on in the call, and I try to sound as interested and nonchalant as possible. And these American scammers are far smarter than East Indian scammers are, Pakistani scammers, African scammers. Because Americans really have to sell it hard and put on the pressure to get you to pony up some money towards them. So I hope you enjoy this the audio presentation with some gameplay footage for visual enhancement, so to speak. So just the same, I hope you enjoy.
Morning.
Hi, this is Paul Jackson, Main Processing Department for Motor Vehicle Assurance MVA. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good to hear. I'm just calling to do a service update. Roughly, where would you say you're at with the mileage now? Rough estimate.
Which vehicle?
The Ford, sir.
Let's see. I got two Fords, so.
Oh, the Mustang, the car.
They're both Mustangs.
Oh, oh, I see you're collecting them, huh?
Sort of.
Let's see. This one is the one I'm looking at is the 2016.
Yes.
That will narrow it down. I hope they're not both 16s.
No.
All right, so.
That one's got about, I think about approximately 40,000 miles on it.
Okay, perfect. Right about average. So are you familiar with the original manufacturer's policy, the Platinum Care bumper-to-bumper coverage?
Yes.
Good, good. So let me see here. So you already know it covers all the repairs if anything breaks down on you. The only things that you're not covered for, of course, is just your routine maintenance. That's the oil changes, brake pads, and tires. And do you still use a Ford Service Garage, or do you have a local mechanic that you use now?
I use the local mechanic. They're just simply cheaper and do some great work.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I understand. So, the coverage is accepted at any licensed mechanic across the United States and Canada. So whatever's most convenient for you, we cover 100% of the parts, labor, and taxes, as well as any towing fees, rental cars, diagnostics, and they include free roadside assistance. So any kind of any kind of flat tire, run out of gas, lock yourself out, and lodging expenses if you break down on the road, that's all covered in full as well. All right. Now, go ahead. Did you have a question or something?
Mostly, I require this out of anybody. I'd like them to send me some documentation so I can go over what you're offering.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't expect you to just, take everything I'm saying, take my word for it and go ahead and make the decision on keeping, the policy active and all that. I just want to make sure that the eligibility doesn't close out. We typically don't reach out over the phone, but the only reason was that we had sent a notice in the mail regarding the eligibility, and we didn't get a response. So I just wanted to reach out before anything closes out, see if you needed more time, because that's, generally what I've been hearing lately. Everybody's so tied up with, everything that's going on with the coronavirus and whatnot, that, people aren't exactly checking up on the mail like they usually do.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that. It's just the same strain as what SARS was, bird flu, swine flu, MERS, and all of them went away within 6 months. Not worried about coronavirus.
good. I'm glad. A lot of people are freaking out and hysterical about it, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's a little bit of a bigger deal for people with compromised immune systems or anyone that's older, things like that. But if you're young and generally healthy, or youngish and generally healthy, you really got nothing to worry about.
Well, I'm glad I'm in the ish category. Okay. Anyways,
so
there's a chance. Okay, there's a chance that I didn't, somehow the documents that you had sent out previously didn't get to me, and I was wanting to ask if you can send it out again.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. I know the U.S. Postal Service just isn't what it used to be on a regular day, without all this going on. So that's why we started reaching out, because a lot of people were getting closed out without even knowing that they were qualified. So, let me see here what we can do to get you some more time, get everything sent out, and, this way you're not making any decisions over the phone or anything like that. Let's see. Now, does anyone else drive the Mustang, or is it just you?
No, it's just me. I hardly let anybody other than my kids touch the Mustangs, so.
I'm surprised you even let your kids touch the Mustang.
Well, it's not the 2016 they touch. It's the 1996 one, so that's my daily driver.
Oh, 96. That was, what was that, the Fox body?
No. Basically, it went for the basic model back then. I was basically a young adult at the time, so
any Mustang will do.
Yeah, I wouldn't get the Mustang Cobra, that's for sure. So.
Nice. So they have you qualified for a full 5 years on the full bumper-to-bumper coverage. So that would go all the way up until April of 2025. And an additional 100,000 miles, so right up until about 140,000, whichever comes first. And let's see here. And, of course, as a Ford Preferred customer, you're entitled to some extended options and discounts. So let me pull those up for you. And let's see what we can do to get it all sent out again, because let's see. All right, sorry about that. It's not letting me there's usually a button here to click that just is resends everything out and holds the account, but it's not letting me do that. So let me just double check here. It might be with something about the eligibility, but let me see.
Yeah, I won't sweat. Even if I'm not eligible, my local repair shop does only charge me, let me rephrase that, charges me so little at the time for my repairs and whatnot, so I'm not really complaining about cost.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is more so just for your peace of mind, so you don't have to worry about anything, whether it's a major thing or a small thing, everything will be covered. So my supervisor just came over. I think she pinpointed the issue, so just give me 1 second.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Anderson. It's Lucy Miller. I'm one of the managers in processing for your Ford. How are you today?
Doing okay.
Yeah, every day of life's a blessing, right?
Right.
But at the very least, I hopped on the line, sir. I usually don't. I saw that your VIN was up for cancellation, so we're going to make sure that you don't get closed out permanently. But before I go over any payment options,
I'm not really
questions.
Really. I'm not really sweating it too much. I got a good rapport with a local mechanic that does my repairs.
Okay.
So
that's great, and this is exactly what pays for it. That's why we have you on the line, to make sure at the very least you don't lose the full coverage that would have been originally provided, same level. Do you have a pen and paper, actually, Mr. Anderson?
I can type it up. So
yeah, that would be great. I just want to give you two things to jot down for your records.
Okay.
First and foremost is your temporary ID number. It is 476
76
99
99
63.
63.
And the mileage on your Mustang is around 40,000, correct?
Yeah, it's not something I check much because I don't drive it as much as I do the other Mustang.
Yeah, I figured because it's like, your baby, you take care of it real good.
Yeah. Even the wife has
that.
to ask permission for it. So.
That's so funny. All right, so if you want to even write my name down, just so you know the billing manager that helped you today, my name is Lucy Miller. LucyMiller.
Okay, put down the manager here. Hold on a second. Okay.
Now, at this point, Mr. Anderson, they have you for the new car coverage to continue on your Mustang 5 brand new years from today. It's going to take you through an additional 100,000 miles, or through 100,000, I'm sorry. So during that time period, you're not responsible for a single repair on the car. The parts with it, the labor, taxes, even your diagnostic fees are fully covered. And at this point, I don't know if he went over the premium with you. It was originally coming out to like $3,900. I got you a discount through corporate, was able to bring it down to $3,364 for the full 5 years and 100,000 miles. So during that time period, you're not responsible for a single repair on the Ford. The parts with it, labor, taxes, even the diagnostic fees, fully covered. So at this point, even though you're technically past due, you still have the 2 options for payment at the discounted rate. You can pay your policy in full. There's another discount I can tack on just for you. But if that's not feasible at this time, no big deal. You were pre-approved for the monthly payments, and that's interest, finance, and tax-free, Jack. So how would you like to handle your service coverage today? You want to pay it in one shot, take advantage of the discount, or would you rather do it by month?
Well, once you guys mail out the details for me to look at, I'm probably going to do it all in one shot.
Okay. So, Ms. Anderson, what we do?
Yeah, I don't do anything over the phone. I'm real skeptical. Yeah.
Yes, I get that 110%. We had tried to reach you by mail and email. We just didn't hear back. At this point, you're in a preferred customer status with Ford. So this is like the national corporate database. All Ford VIN numbers go through this database, and when your open enrollment is over, when it's up for cancellation, the computer will automatically call preferred customers only. So not everybody gets phone calls. This is just the final call to make sure at the very least we can buy you more time to make a decision, because at the end of the day, you sound like a smart man. Smart people keep warranties on their car, especially one that you love and take care of at this point. This is just going to protect you and protect your investment for the next 5 years. So what I would do with you, Mr. Anderson, I know that you're uncomfortable with the phone, but at this point you're on a recorded, monitored line for your quality and assurance, your protection as well as mine. This is to make sure that we can at the very least buy you more time to make a decision on the policy. Now, if you want to call back and pay it in full in the future, that's something that you can always do. But at this point, regardless of what you put down, by federal and state law, I have to give you 30 days to review your coverage, make any adjustments or changes, make anything final. Okay. That way you have a full 30 days to review the actual policy booklet, the contract itself, the little company card. And by federal and state law, that deposit you put down is refundable for 30 full days. So you could call me on the 29th day, Jack, and say, Lucy, I don't like the color of the booklet, it's blue. It smells funny, I don't know. You call me back, I have to release your funds immediately. But at this point, I know once we get your policy booklet in your hands, you're going to keep it. Just need to get it in your hands at this point. So I can go over the different options for you. I know that you said you would pay it in the full in the future. I will still honor the discount for you, because during the first 30 days, you can always make adjustments, like I told you. It's just a matter of getting everything out to you in the mail, so you have that time period to sit down, review everything in black and white, and make an educated final decision. Is that fair enough?
Well, I do insist on you mailing me out the documents, though.
That's what we're going to do. A refundable security deposit. Activate your
that's going to be before
everything.
That's going to be before I transfer any money.
Well, sir, this is by the warranty commission. This is just how I hold you open and buy you more time to make a decision. That's why I said the whole 30 days, your deposit by law is marked refundable. So if you decide against it, I have to release your funds immediately. It doesn't take 2 business weeks, 4 days. It takes 4 seconds. I've seen them do it before. But most people keep their coverage because it's the full electrical that's needed on these vehicles nowadays. But at this point, I've seen it happen a couple times. It takes all of 4 seconds. But this is just to make sure you have more time to review everything in black and white in front of you, because I know you're going to keep your coverage because this is what pays for everything. You're going to be really happy with your policy. I mean, I don't know if the representative even told you, but you do get free roadside service with the coverage as well. So for all 5 years, I don't know if you pay for AAA, but this is free and better in my opinion. They do 24/7 hour towing. So if you break down, they would immediately dispatch a service vehicle to you. From there, take you to the closest dealership or your mechanic. From there, you get tire coverage. So if you experience or blow a flat, they'll pay and replace the tires. Then you get free car rentals. So your car's in the shop up to 5 days. You get a brand new vehicle to drive around in until it's out of the shop. But at this point, like I said to you, the initial refundable security deposit is just so I can express mail you your policy booklet. It's 100% consumer friendly. I'm sure you're going to understand it, Jack. But if not, take it to your local service department or your mechanic. He'll go over with you exactly what's covered, what you have coming up, and what your policy pays for. Then you get a copy of the legal contract itself. And then finally, you get the little company card. Now, that card, when you keep your coverage, you would sign it, date it, throw it in the glove box. That's what you hand them at the dealership or your mechanic as direct pay. So it pays for the repair right then and there. There's no reimbursement scenario. But anywho, like I said, you have a full 30 days to review, make any adjustments, make anything final. By law, like I know you understand, like with health insurance, there's an open enrollment period. Same thing with warranty coverage. It's just now at the past due point, so that's why it requires the refundable security deposit. But it's a live warranty policy I'm sending you in the mail. It's something you can sign, date, and use. So that's why it requires the refundable security deposit. So like I was telling you, Jack, I can go over the minimal deposits. Let's see which one doesn't burn a hole in your pocket. We'll get this out to you in the mail. It's everything I'm telling you and more. If not, give you my address. You can come beat me up. But I know you're going to keep your coverage again. This is just to make sure you get it all in the mail at this point. Okay, is that fair enough?
Well, for my protection, I require, any, company to mail me out to 5 minutes before. Yeah, that's the deal. This is for my protection, because the difference between legit company and scammers is scammers will not send out anything, and they always require some type of payment up front. Already.
And it's nothing of a scam. We've been around for the past 15 plus years handling all Ford Motor Company warranty policies for their vehicles. This isn't anything new. This is the same level of coverage that you would have been provided with. They're just making sure you can continue it.
Right, but all legit.
Sponsor NASCAR. Like we're cited on ESPN, CNN, and NBC. Like this is not an illegitimate company. This is somebody that pays 100% of your claims, parts, labor, taxes, even the diagnostic fee every time you go in. Not trying to harm you. I mean, I don't know what else I can tell you at this point to make sure that you understand that this isn't something to harm you. Like, if you want to even look it up, if you have a smartphone, you're in front of a computer right now, you can look up the policies. It's elementprotectionplans.com. You can see exactly what the policies are. If you want to look up the actual insurance company, that's DriveSmart. That's who sponsors NASCAR. I don't know if you watch it, but number 52, J.J. Yealy, we've been sponsoring him for the past 2-3 years. His car says DriveSmart on it. It's blue and white. And if you type it in online, that one's www.drivesmartwarranty.com. And that'll come up, like I said, right away with the NASCAR car in front of you.
Well, what I do is I check, I would be calling up the Ford dealerships, ask if they have heard of DriveSmart. Then, I would talk to my local insurance companies and whatnot, and that's how I protect myself.
We encourage you continue to use this at your Ford dealership, solely because we pay for the new manufactured parts they have in stock. But this is your corporate level coverage. So if you also want to use your private mechanic, you can do that as well. Also, any certified repair facility. The corporate level coverage. So at this point, this is just to make sure you get everything in the mail. You can bring your policy booklet with you to the dealership or to your mechanic. Like I said to you before, they'll go over with you exactly what's covered, what you have coming up, what your policy pays for. If you just say, oh, do you know this random thing, bop-de-bop, it's good when you have everything in black and white. That way you can show them, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, this is covered, this. Like, that's what it's about. Making sure that you have everything in your hands so you can make an educated decision, bring it to whoever you want to bring it to. They're going to tell you everything that I'm telling you. Like I said, it's the full warranty policy and more. It's just a matter of getting it out to you in the mail, Jack. I'm not trying to harm you. If I thought you didn't need this, I would have hung up on you and told you to have a nice day. I don't get on the phone and talk to people like this. This is to make sure that you can get everything in the mail, make an educated decision. I understand that you're stuck in your ways. I'm the same way with like on the phone kind of
Right.
stuff. It's just at this point, I want to make sure that you have more time with everything in front of you. Your card is FDIC insured. Like, there's no way that anyone can harm you at this point. If it was a faulty, like, company, you could always back charge the charge that they were to do. But at this point, this is just to make sure you receive everything in the mail in the next 5 business days. Then you have 30 days to make a final decision on the coverage that I know you're going to keep. Like, I don't know what you want me to give you, like my maiden name. I can give you my cell phone number.
No, that's
like
worthless
I said,
to me.
make sure.
Only that mailed out documents are going to be worth anything to me. So
And that's exactly why I'm trying to do that, Jack.
And I'm not
So
going to make any
let's
payments until I see those documents. So
Well, like I
that's
said,
it.
I could set you up with the state minimum. That way it doesn't burn a hole in your pocket.
No,
but we
no,
absolutely need to do the 5%.
No money until I see the documents. So you're going to have to
Jack,
mail those out.
It never works that way, Jack. It never works that way.
Oh,
You're
yeah, it
past
does.
due. Your mileage and year of the vehicle, it's past due now. The open enrollment is now over. They're very picky about the open enrollment because of all the electronics in these vehicles nowadays. And this is to make sure that you have more time with everything in front of you to get it out. You understand?
Well, I'm going to have to take my chances with my local mechanic and ponying up the money then.
So you want to forfeit your full coverage?
Yeah.
Like I said, Jack, it's a risk-free situation. If you decide against it, you call me back, you get every penny back. We're exactly back where we're sitting right now. But at this point, this is not so you have a canceled policy that I know you're going to keep it. I just need to get it in your hands at this point. I know you're set in your ways. I understand why you are. That's why I'm trying to go over with you. This is just how it's done. I've done it with thousands of people every day. This is to make sure you receive everything in the mail. You have 30 days by federal and state law. The Warranty Commission makes me give you 30 days to review it, make any adjustments or changes, make anything final regardless. That's something I have to adhere to. But at this point, like I told you before, I know you're going to keep the policy. Just need to get it in your hands at this point. So I can unlock a free maintenance program for you. We just need to, like I said, at the very least, put a card on file. That way you're in a place of limbo, and we can buy you more time to make a decision on this. Is that not fair enough?
Well, I think I'm going to stand my ground, though. Worst case scenario, I'll trade into 2016 and get the 2020 model and get the re-up coverage
Well, sir,
through
your
Ford
policy
itself.
is fully prorated, and Ford isn't legally allowed to pay themselves. It's against the law. It's considered a monopoly. They always have an authorized provider. So, like I told you before, I can absolutely buy you more time to make a decision. That's easy. I can get everything out to you in the mail today. We could do it for the state minimum, which is only $168. You'll have everything in your mailbox in the next 5 business days, and I'll send you a confirmation email with this phone call. That way you have something with this very call. But at this point, like I said, we have to take a little bit of action. You have to meet me 10%, because I'm meeting you 90% of the way, giving you the 5%, which I never am allowed to do. But I know you're going to keep your policy, so once you get it, you'll pay it in full. You call back in and say, I love this policy.
I'm still going to pass.
All right. Best of luck, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Best of luck with your purse. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. You okay with forfeiting out your coverage, Jack? You're on a recorded, monitored line, so it's going to be for the lifetime of the vehicle.
I want to see documents first. That's where I stand at about that. No money until I see the documents.
Jack, I can absolutely get you everything express mailed to you today, but we have to do the refundable security deposit, because I'm not saying you would ever do this.
No.
In the past, we used to send out the live warranty to people, and they would try to use it. That's why it's a refundable security deposit. So people are trying to use the policy without paying for it. That's why in this day and age we have to do the refundable security deposit. Because unfortunately there are evil people out there. I'm not saying you would be one of them. I'm just saying at this point it's not going to go any further. Like, this is it. Once the VINs close out, it's closed out for the lifetime of the car. That's why I'm saying buy yourself more time to make a decision. It's $168. When you love it and you see it and you want to pay it in full, call back and I'll honor the discount for you still. But at this point, this is just to make sure nothing forfeits permanently.
how can people abuse a policy if they don't have it? You know, you
Well,
either have the
sign
policy
it,
or
date
you
it.
don't.
Yeah, if you sign it and date it, you can use the card at, like, the dealership. That's why I told you that before.
That doesn't sound like good business. Usually you have to turn back in some documents before the card is actually active.
No. You sign it, date it, throw it in the glove box. That's what you use at the dealership as direct pay. So it pays for the repair right then and there. Of course, you would call customer service and let us know of the claim. But that's how it's set up, yes. That's why I'm saying it's simple for you. It's easy to get this out to you. I don't know what else to tell you besides that. I can give you 30 days, but if we do nothing, then it's going to close out.
I'm going to pass on this.
So you are forfeiting your coverage for the lifetime of the car, Miss Anderson.
Forfeiting the coverage.
Yeah, Jack, best of luck. Are you going to hang up, Jack, or do you want to, like, stay on the phone and keep talking about this?
You hang up.